Welcome back, everyone. This is Jeronitis bringing you Feed the Beast 1.6. Today we are starting on episode 65, and we're going to continue with our advanced ore processing build. Alright, so what I want to do first, I actually didn't want to do it this way, but I'm going to wind up doing it this way because, well, I'll just show you. When you look up the cables, what I want to do is increase my power supply. Okay, I want to change from the MFEs to the MFSUs because I think we're going to be using a ton of power. Okay, the MFE outputs 512 EU per tick. Okay, and we need to use cable that's going to handle the higher output source. Okay, and the MFSU is going to output 2048. Okay, and that's using the HV cable. However, the HV cable requires the metal former to make, and I don't want to use the metal former to make it. It's not really something that, I mean, I can do it, I just don't want to. And because I know for a fact that eventually down the road, we're going to have something that's going to require this glass fiber cable, so I'm just going to go ahead and make it now, because I know I'm going to have it. So, whoops, I did something stupid. Again. I did not prepare some silver, and now, crap, okay. I already took all that stuff up. I meant to get everything ready in between episodes so I wouldn't have a repeat of last episode of me going, gee, I wish I had done things ahead of time. And here I am going, gee, I wish I had done things ahead of time. But that's okay. We're going to upgrade this, and we're going to give this sucker 11 upgrades. And that, and the ejector module that ejects to the east. Alright, so now we're just going to grind up a whole bunch of silver so that we can go ahead and make these cables. Thankfully, we're not going to make a whole lot of these cables. It won't be, later on I'll have to make a whole bunch of these things, but at least for now we don't have to do it that way. So last episode we ground up a bunch of diamonds. I know it seemed like sacrilege. It did to me too, trust me. I was sitting here going, what am I doing? But it's necessary, unfortunately. You must destroy some diamonds to make some omelets or something like that. Right, anyway. So, yeah, I totally butchered that one, but that's okay. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go downstairs now that stuff's coming through. And I will show you guys that in between episodes, I've programmed the machine to make a couple of other things. I programmed it to make the cable, and the cable requires the energium dust, and I programmed it to make the energium dust. Okay, so the energium dust is going to be, well, actually, you know what, let's just do it this way. I'm going to do a search for cables, okay, because first off, I want to craft these cables. And I'm going to tell it to go ahead and craft me 30 of them just to be safe. Okay, now while it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that it requires silver dust, energium dust, and lots of glass. The energium dust is diamond dust, which is why I macerated the diamonds, diamond dust and redstone, and of course diamond dust is crushed up diamonds. So as you can see, this is fairly expensive recipe, but ultimately it's what I want, so that's what we're doing. Alright, so now we have glass fiber cable. Alright, so we don't need that anymore as long as it is done with its stuff. Alright, good, it's done. Although I didn't recharge this while I was down here because I'm a doofus. Alright, charge back up. Hopefully this is the last charge I'll need to give it before I actually get all this stuff settled. Alright, we don't need this or this or this anymore. We can break that. Alright, so let's go back around upstairs and let's set these things up. Alright, so we're going to use the glass fiber cable and we're going to put it down here, 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 and here. Okay, then first thing we're going to want is the macerator back. I think I need, hang on, let's see. Macerator, ore washer, furnace, Metal former, compressor. There's plenty of room. I can always expand later as necessary. Okay, so we're going to put the macerator right here. And we're going to go ahead and put in 2 of the upgrades. Okay, 2 of the upgrades, see its max power is now 8,192. So it can take in as much power as the cable can give it. Alright, the second thing we're going to place down is going to be the ore washing plant. Okay, but before we place down the ore washing plant, we're going to knock out the back wall right here. Ooh. How do I want to do that? Because I want to hook the applied energistics system to this as well. Yeah, we're going to do it that way. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put the ore washing plant down here. And on top of the ore washing plant, we're going to put down the ender chest full of water, which is then going to fill the ore washing plant with water. All right, so the ore washing plant has a max power of 32. Put those 2 in it. That brings it to 8192. Excellent. Okay, now as we get to using these, we'll add the upgrades to make them faster, but for now, we're just going to leave them alone. Okay, so the next thing we're going to want is the electric furnace. And its max power is 32. Oops, we didn't make any more power upgrades, and I didn't teach the system how to. Let's do that real quick. All right, clear out. I'll get back to you in a minute. Alrighty, so we need more upgrades for the power. So here, make that. And, nope, not that one, this one. And here, make that. And we didn't teach how to make this stuff. And, of course, we need to teach how to make this stuff. It saves us a lot of steps. It really does. I promise. Alright, so let's toss this stuff in here. And now it can make that part. Okay, so now we want to make the upgrade. And see, that's not funny. There was already 7 in here. That's ironic. Oh yeah, we'll just make 1, and that proves that it's capable of it, so hooray. I didn't realize I had made a bunch of these extra when I had made the stuff a long time ago, but guess what? I made extra a long time ago. Alright, so we're going to put 2 of those in there, and that brings that up to 8192. Okay, so that's all I have to do for the moment. The other machines aren't necessary for the ore processing build, but since I have them in my inventory and I don't want to keep them in my inventory, we're going to go ahead and put them out here. Alright, so next to that, I want to put the metal former and then the compressor. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put in 2 upgrades for that one and 2 upgrades for that one. And that brings them all up to 8192 as their maximum power. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is turn back into a bat. And we're going to work our way around through here. And being small has its advantages. Alright, so we're going to break through this stuff. And now over here, let's see, where is the closest applied energistics piping? It should actually be fairly close to here, I think. Oh, dude, how lucky was that? Okay, good. So now I just need more AE cable. And we've got 75 of it. That'll be wonderful. And let's see, we're going to need 5 basic import buses for the moment. So let's look and see how many buses we have. Alrighty, storage, nope. Okay, so basic import buses, you know what, just make me 10. And we're going to go with precision export buses. And we're going to make 6 of those just to be safe. Alright, what am I missing? Fluix dust. Did I not teach the system to make Fluix dust? Wow, I missed the Fluix dust. Amazing. Alright, let's go with Fluix dust. This is how you make it. good. All right, next page, toss that in there, and there we go. All right, so now we should be able to look in and see buses, and we've got 10 basic and 6 complicated. For some reason, instead of thinking precision, I said basic, and then my brain went complicated. And I was about to just say complicated. And I'm like, complicated? It's not a complicated bus. It's a precision bus. There's a difference. There's a line. Don't cross it. All right, so now we're going to bring this over this way. And now we're going to have a problem, because I can't have both of these the way I want them to be. Actually, let's just do this. Yeah, let's see if this is going to work. I'm not sure that this is going to work, but we're going to try it anyway. All right, so basic import bus. That's not an import bus. All right, so basic import bus here on the back. And then let me walk around this side. I'm going to do basic import on all of the machines. And then, oh man, that is going to be a problem. What am I going to do about the water? If we're importing there and we're exporting down there, how am I going to get the water into the machine? Oh, I know how. Well, that won't be very pretty now, will it? Well, I guess it doesn't have to be pretty. I mean, it'd be nice if it was pretty. I want it to be pretty. But ultimately, if it ain't pretty, it ain't pretty. It has to be functional. Functional first, pretty later. All right, so we're going to wind up taking the macerator back off again. Poor macerator. I just keep throwing it around. Every time it turns around, it's getting picked back up. Alrighty, and we're going to put this here, replace the macerator there, and now we don't need that there, but we will need the basic import, whatever, there, and a piece of cable just to connect them here. No, here. Thank you. All right, so now, just because this is going to be difficult otherwise, we're going to, what happened to the, oh, I haven't taken it up yet. We're going to take this up, and we are going to, ooh, no, I don't know if that's going to work. Maybe I'll leave that there, because I might be able to kind of pretty it up a little bit by doing it this way. So yeah, we'll import there, and we will put the precision export bus on the side here, and I can always use those things. I am being very articulate tonight. I can always use. Wow, I'm really gonna continue to draw a blank on this. I can always use those things, facades. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about facades. I can always use facades to cover those up and make them look a little bit prettier, which is ultimately what I'm going to do here as well. So now, let's see, precision, export, and fall off a cliff, albeit a small cliff, but a cliff nonetheless. And connect those. So now everything is connected as I want it to be. All right, so now let's see if any of this is going to work. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to get an ore. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and get a stack of iron ore, because iron ore seems like the fun thing to do it with. Let's toss that, and that away for now, just to get it out of my way. All right, so let's see. This is going to need the 2 power upgrades and the 11 overclockers. All right, so now I'm going to right-click on here. The precision export bus is going to be taught to export iron. We're going to export it in stacks. Excellent. Okay, so it is exporting the iron into the macerator, and the macerator hopefully then will grind it up once I reconnect the power. So let's run downstairs, and we will reconnect the power real quick and see this sucker come to life. Alright, so that should have gotten the power back going. And it did. Alright, so it is being macerated, and wow, it is actually pulling it out slower than I expected it would, because this thing, well, it's not pulling it out slower than I thought it would, it's just that it's processing so much faster than I thought it would. But that's okay, because we can just break this. Well, let's let it finish. Oh, never mind, it's never going to finish. That's the thing. It'll never finish because I have it, well, it would finish eventually, but eventually would be when I ran out of iron ore, and if you guys are paying attention, there's a lot of iron ore there to be forced to run out of. Alright, so let's go back in here, and let's go ahead and upgrade these to precision import buses, go. That was quick. I was like, hey, why aren't they done yet? Because they already are done, and you just don't realize it. Alrighty, so now we're going to, well, let's go under here and do it this way first. Hook that, that, and that. And now I'm stuck. Why is there dirt there anyway? Should have never been dirt there to begin with. Alright, so the precision import bus, we're going to change it to move stacks. So now it is going to take these up faster than it possibly can go through them. Alright, so now as we're doing, you'll notice here that each iron ore is being broken down into 2 crushed iron ore, okay? So the crushed iron ore is what we're producing. So that's already doubling, okay? Because, 1 ore to each crushed iron ore. So crushed iron ore can be cooked into ingots. So that means that a single ore block is becoming 2 ingots worth. But we're not going to stop there. We don't want to stop there. Why don't we want to stop there? Because we don't want to. So now if we look here, we have crushed iron ore being sent into the ME system. So now we're going to come over here, and we're going to tell this precision import bus to import crushed iron ore, and awesome, it's going in the right spot. Alright, so that being the case, let's tell this thing to import. Well, it actually doesn't matter if it imports stacks or not. It's not going to work that fast. As you can see, this machine is incredibly slow, like disgustingly, horribly slow, like disturbingly, disgustingly, horribly slow. So, let's kick it up a notch. Bam. Bam. Anytime now. Alright, looks like 6 is going to be pretty much the maximum. Let's look at this and see. Actually, looks like we are still draining. It's a very, very slow drain, but it's still a drain. Alright, so let's take one more out, and that should, there we go. Alright, so now, as this is producing, one of the things I want to do real quick is because we're importing this stuff before you can see what it's making. We're going to go back here, and we're going to tell this to stop importing. Alright, no, did I not just... Active without signal, active with signal, there we go. Okay, so we're making a stone dust, 2 tiny piles of iron dust, and a purified crushed iron ore. Okay, the purified crushed iron ore is still only worth 1 ingot's worth, but we're getting these tiny piles of iron dust, and 9 tiny piles of iron dust is going to equal another ingot's worth. So that is actually going to make this produce, if I did my math correctly, it will produce 28 extra ingots. So instead of getting, like normal processing, you would be getting, excuse me, in normal processing, if you were to just take an iron ore and put it into a furnace, you would get 1 ingot for 1 iron ore. So 64, 1 stack of iron ore blocks would get you 1... Oh, wow. How are you running out? Okay, so 1 stack of iron ore would get you 1 stack of ingots. By macerating them, 1 stack of iron ore will get you 2 stacks of iron ingots. But instead of just stopping there, by taking that out, we are going to crush it, then we're going to wash it. And by washing it, and you combining all of the tiny piles of dust you get with it, then you wind up actually taking one stack of ore blocks and turning them into 2 stacks plus 28 ingots. So you're actually increasing that by almost a third. A third? No. Wow, I shouldn't have said that because I'm trying to do math and I'm not gonna, yeah, no, we're not going there. So anyway, so now we are automatically processing that. All right, so the next thing we want to do, obviously, is we don't want to just do iron ore. We want to do all the ores. So we are going to get copper and tin and gold and silver. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There should be 2 more. Lead. What am I missing? What am I not thinking of here? Okay. Lead, iron, tin, copper, gold, silver. There's 7 ores. What is the last one? I cannot think of it. Silver, gold, copper, tin, iron, lead. No, not aluminum. There's aluminum doesn't count. That's only Tinker's construct. There's 7 processable metals. And I cannot think of the 7th one. Or is there only 6? No, I swear there's 7. Silver, gold, iron, copper, tin, and lead. Whatever. I cannot for the I guess I'm just having one of those nights. I'm not really thinking well tonight, I guess. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and tell this to process all of these ores. So when it runs out of iron, and at the rate it's going, it will. When it runs out of iron, it'll go ahead and start processing the others. So it will go ahead and process these all up for me. It's going to drive me buggy because I know there's 7 ores. There's always been 7 ores, all the way back to when I played the Ultimate Pack. Okay, what am I doing? I could just be smart and go, hello? Why is this happening? Can we please just work normally, please? Thank you. I don't know what was going on there. Okay, let's see. In the ores, there's gold, iron, wow, really? You're going to separate it up like that? Copper, tin, seriously? This is how we're going to play this? Gold, iron, copper, and tin. They're not even showing lead and stuff here. They actually separated it out to somewhere else where I don't have to go find it. That is ridiculous. Tin, copper, apatite. That's not one of the ones we get. Copper again. Copper, tin, aluminum, cobalt, drawbridge. Drawbridge? Where the heck did that come from? Ferrous! Ferrous! I told you there was another one. I knew there was another one. It was ferrous. I can't believe I couldn't think about ferrous. Well, we've got plenty of ferrous ingots, but we've got no ferrous ores. So I'm sure that we will wind up getting some ferrous ores once the quarries get down far enough. But for now, we have a functional setup for now. Okay, so of course after this we're going to tell it to go ahead and go into the electric furnace and cook there. Or are we? No, actually we're not. We're going to reset this in a completely different way. However, I don't think I'm going to do it this episode. For now, we are processing these and we're going to wind up with this. Now, the thing is, I think we can even further enhance this by using the Infernal Furnace. The Infernal Furnace, when fed the correct things, specifically, you know, the the ores, has a chance of producing nuggets as a secondary side effect. Like when you cook the beef, raw beef, you get steak, and then you can get beef nuggets. Same general idea with the ores. If you cook an ore, you can get an ingot and then nuggets. So what I want to see is, actually, let me see if we have any nuggets. I want to test this. Okay, silver, gold, and beef. Okay, so we don't have any iron or iron nuggets. Okay, so we're going to take the purified crushed iron ore, and we're going to use the Infernal Furnace to cook this and see if we wind up with extra nuggets. Because if we do wind up with extra nuggets, hey, you're going to do this for me. Here, go throw that in there. All right, he's cooking. Yep, I saw a nugget. Okay, so by using the Infernal Furnace for this, we're actually going to go ahead. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at the extra iron. Okay, so now we're getting extra iron that way. All right, so let's see about if we take the tiny piles of iron dust, and I need to add a crafting station up here for that. But we're going to go ahead and do this. No, not this, this. So now if we take these and make them into piles of iron dust, we have 7 iron dust here. Although I imagine this guy's got a little ways to go before he's going to be done. Here, get that out of there. Now wait for this guy to finish real quick, and then we'll do a count of how many nuggets we have. And then... Wow, he's done already? Holy crap, that was quick. Alright, and we still have plenty of Ignis there. And, oh yeah, plenty of stuff there as well. Good. So now let's do a quick count of the nuggets. Alright, so we have, you know what, we have no iron nuggets in the system again. Okay, so now let's go over here and put the tiny piles of dust turn into big piles of dust. There's 7 of them. And let's see, do we see any nuggets coming out here? I do believe I saw a nugget. I'm actually fairly certain I just saw a nugget. Let's double check. Silver, gold, and beef. No. Interesting. No nuggets from that. I don't see that being truth. I don't. So because we have this up here and we have... Why would it not do it with dusts? That's a good question. Oh, wow. Okay, I guess 26 are going to be our maximum here. Let's double check real quick. Alright, no iron nuggets. Silver, gold, and beef. Alright, so we're going to toss 26 more of these. Now, it's not guaranteed. The reason I don't want to believe that's true is because the Infernal Furnace, it does not guarantee that you're going to get nuggets. It just gives you a percentage chance. So it's possible that those 7 dusts just didn't hit the percentage correctly to make nuggets. So we're going to toss in 26 more and see if we wind up with any nuggets. It may be that we only get extra nuggets from using the purified dust. Let's go take a look. He's still processing, but in theory, we should have gotten, yeah. Okay, so, you know, we're not going to cheat it horribly, but we sure are going to cheat it as much as we can, dadgummit. All right, good. So now we can finish setting this stuff up. We're going to have to use the ME system. We'll have to run the cable over here and discover some way. Oh, cool, my silverwood tree grew. I wonder if we are Magical Forest. Sweet. We are converting to Magical Forest. All right. Anyway, so we're going to bring it over here, and this guy will not be able to keep up. There's just no way. Well, actually, it won't matter if he can keep up or not. It'll go at whatever pace I decide. I'll probably upgrade him to either a better golem that can carry more or give him a carrying capacity upgrade. But we can make it so that... Well, no, we can't do that because if the... I'll have to think about this. I'll have to think about this a good little bit. Next episode, we will continue with the ore processing by getting it working into the Infernal Furnace and really just tearing up some stuff. And then we will go ahead and hook in the rest of the stuff, which actually, the electric furnace is basically useless at this point because we can use the Infernal Furnace to get extra nuggets. We can use the Cal Factor to get extra glass. So, yeah, this is... Why has that stopped again? I mean, I know I've got plenty of glass, but I sure would like to know why it keeps doing that. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So, yes, advanced mining, good thing to have, but when it comes to ore processing, this is pretty much the best of the best. All right, so in between episodes, I'm probably going to let things run for a little bit, and we will get some of the stuff processed down. I'll go ahead and program in the rest of the stuff to go ahead and get worked on. We're still working on iron, much less all the others. Let's take a look real quick just to see. We still have 300 iron, and then we've got 1,800 copper, 1,000 tin. Yeah, we've got some time that needs to be spent processing this stuff. But the fun part about it is with the AE system, it can just sit in here until it's processing time, and then boom, gets processed. All right, so tell me you like what I'm doing. I think this was pretty cool. I'm sure someone out there has done it before, but I'd like to think I did it better than them. Or at least I did it in a different way. In any case, like me if you like me, give me a subscription if you think I did a really good job with this. And of course, help spread the gaming.